Welcome back to the HellfireComms Disneython. We've got a treat for you today, folks. This is one of the straight-up comedic Disney movies, and actually one of my favourites. This is The Emperor's New Groove, and I'm here again with the Brain Scratch crew for their last movie of this Disneython. Ryan, why did you pick this animated movie over the others?
I really like the movie, and it's one of the few non-sing-songy Disney movies that's good.
Would you classify this one as this is straight up end of the Renaissance age, right?
Yeah.
When they stop being all music happy and stuff like that.
Well, when did Treasure Planet come out? Was that Disney? Because I consider Treasure Planet the end of the Renaissance.
I never watched Treasure Planet.
I think that got slated mostly for its overuse on CGI and the time it came out.
Yeah. And Nickelback.
Nickelback was not in that movie, unless you count the OST, in which case I have no idea, so moving on.
I remember they used Take Me Higher for it a lot, but...
What do you think is David Spade as a voice actor?
Serviceable for this. He delivers all his lines with great panache.
Well, he's basically just playing,
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty much an animation avatar of David Spade. But at this point in time when the movie was released, I was really only familiar with David Spade from Tommy Boy, Black Sheep, and his SNL skits.
Well, I didn't know who the actor was when this came out, although when this came out I was like, 10? But I have to say, out of all of the Disney movies, it might not be the best overall, but I think that this is the funniest Disney movie.
Yeah.
In that it has the most jokes that get me to laugh out loud every time that I watch it.
Most Disney movies are like dramatic music numbers or musicals.
Yeah.
This one's like, it has its moments of drama, but overall its main genre is comedy.
Yeah, this is a comedy movie through and through.
So we're not going to see as much drama llama as we thought we were. I'm disappointed.
Very nice.
I'm sorry, Lewis.
I think I fucking lost my shit the first time I saw this movie, because I honestly was not expecting it to have this many, jokes and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think I did see this in theaters.
Yeah.
I think I did too, actually.
That's Tom Jones as the singer guy.
Yeah.
If you ever come to my house and I'm just chilling out with my family, we quote this movie all the time. This is one of my favorites. I think this is my dad's favorite Disney movie, actually.
Oh, it's definitely one of the more quotable Disney movies.
Yeah, for the time being in the early 2000s, this is what me and my parents would quote all the time, because this movie really does do a good job with its comedy. I think my mom was also a pretty big fan of David Spade, only because of SNL.
This commentary is just going to be us reacting to the movie and laughing.
Yeah.
I will say though, because another thing that really helps though in terms of the animation is the exaggerated facial designs. You saw how puckered his lips were there. It's something you see on a Flash animation nowadays, but
yeah, the movie feels very alive.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be a bitch getting that makeup on when you sign up for guard duty, though.
No, see what they do is they take you by the arms and ankles and dip you in one half blue paint, and they turn you around and dip you in the other half in red paint.
What civilization is this based on again?
Incas.
Aztecs?
What? Now I think what's Coos going on?
Aztec or Mayans?
I want to say Mayans.
Let's see, I've got the Wikipedia entry for Emperor's New Groove open here, and Ryan was right, it is Inca. Not Mayan, not anything else, Inca. And the capital of the Inca Empire was actually called Cusco, but that one was spelt with a C, and this film's version of Cusco is spelt with a K and a Z instead of an S, so the more you know.
Oh, hi, John Goodman.
Fuck yes, I love John Goodman.
Yeah, I think John Goodman does make a good voice actor, and we all know that from Monsters, Inc., but...
Yep.
It was when I was watching Monsters U for a moment, a couple months ago. It's when I realized, wait a minute, he plays Sully and, I forget his name.
Pacha.
Pacha, that's it. He plays Sully and Pacha. I can't believe it took me that long to realize he was both characters.
Isn't that the voice of Piglet?
I was just about to ask you that. So I'm going to say yes.
The groove.
Best parts of the movie right in front of us.
Didn't Kronk get his own TV series?
He got his own. The directed TV sequel was the directed video sequel, I should say, was starred Kronk. There was an Emperor's New Groove TV show, which I saw all of 30 seconds of while I was flipping through the channels.
Yeah, The Emperor's New School. It was okay. It's not as, like, horrific as you might think. This is Eartha Kitt as Yzma, the villain of the movie.
Catwoman.
She is Catwoman. She is fucking fantastic.
I think she's one of my favorite Disney villains ever, just because. Well, she's really not any better than Kuzco is, like, in terms of.
Her face reminds me of Jafar.
Well, as in, like, in terms of design, like angles and all that. That's how you know she's evil, by the way.
As if the dark overtones of her clothing.
Yeah, it gets the purple, black, and blue.
And speaking of Jafar, she pretty much plays the same role as, like, evil advisor and so on.
Why do these people keep on hiring advisors? It never seems to work out for them.
Actually, if you look at it from that angle, this could be like a riff on Aladdin. I just love it. It's like a complete non sequitur. It's like it's got nothing to do with the plot, but it focuses on it anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say, out of all the Disney movies, you know, I'm pretty sure we've all grown up with, this one is completely self-aware the entire time. It's just, if not more so than Aladdin. Really.
Oh my god, there's a fucking killer gag near the end. Like, it's totally meta and self-referential. I won't spoil it though.
I think I know exactly what gag you're talking about too, and it's my favorite one in the movie. Loyal, you've tried to usurp me like 12 times this morning.
But Tish. And that's Patrick Warburton as Kronk. He is a fucking fantastic voice actor.
Well, everyone's just perfect in this movie.
Yeah, that's why it all came together so well.
Perfectly cast is the key word here.
I think the best part about it is that the cast is very small, but it's also very well knit, and all the characters have a lot of great chemistry with each other.
Well, that usually is the result of a smaller cast. You can put more focus on each of them individually. And that's generally why movies with ensemble all-star cast fail all the time, because the punchline is, we got this guy here.
That's never a good phrase to hear.
Am I the only one around here?
You know, Shinra did a thing a while ago, and I've been dying to try it out, so we're gonna burn down your village and build a theme park over top of it.
Boom! Bear Hall has been destroyed.
Even though the film goes through its like dramatic paces, you never really have to wait long for like a joke or a gag.
I'd like to point out that the slide on that model is just a slide into, like, a death fall.
Well, he designed it himself. We didn't get the royal architect.
That's actually what... Oh my god, I forgot that's actually what he was doing. Destroy the town, build a theme park over it. Oh.
And then I will build Eggman Land. Wait.
And on its ruins, I'll build Cusco's land.
See, like here, Cusco's just as evil as Esma is. So
A typical Disney villain.
yeah, so that's what part of what I like about this movie so much.
Yeah, because you very rarely get a Disney hero who starts off as just a complete asshole and then learns a lesson.
They're perfect people, and then they learn a lesson.
There you go.
That was the best transition, by the way. Just his face being hammered into dust.
Yeah, the animation, the framing of the animation is just perfect, really.
It's not the prettiest animation in the world, but it works for the movie.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's a comedy movie, so really there isn't a whole lot of a flow to the animation. It's more about getting the punchline across. So.
No, I would say it's pretty good on the animation. It's actually pretty flat on colors. Like you look at the
that's
characters
what
here.
I mean, yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
shadows. There's no shadow. There's no light. Nothing. It's just flat.
I think that's what makes it feel like you mentioned a Flash cartoon. I think that's what gets that feel across, because there's not a whole lot of. I noticed there's not a whole lot of attention to that stuff in a lot of Flash stuff.
Yeah, like compared to like the other Disney movies like Aladdin and stuff, it does look a fair bit cheaper most of the time.
Oh, is that supposed to be the alligator from Peter Pan?
Yes, it is.
Okay, now I always wanted to be this to be a Disney World ride.
This is the one joke I always bring up when me and my mom are on a roller coaster. I always say this like, Isma, put your hands up in the air.
I love this quote.
It's so unnecessarily convoluted, and I made that box to myself. But if you
Smash it with the hammer.
I quote that all the time whenever smashing things with hammers comes up. Or to just save on postage, I'll post it with this.
The movie has a lot of very subtle animation as well. It's like you said, the whole like design of the characters and the colours are kind of downplayed. The subtlety is ramped up as a result.
Yeah.
He just sort of let the beaker float in the air for a second there.
Well, Kronk is very dainty, as we'll come to find out.
If you're not gonna go and wow the audience with your choice of color, then you really start focusing all of your attention on secondary animations, not just jaw movement or body language, hair, accessories, all that kind of stuff.
Everything's very fluid in this movie.
Yeah.
It's the trade-off, because if your designs aren't as complex, you can animate them with more frames and stuff like that.
Speaking of fluid, the script is so like tightly written. That whole like bit back there with like the poison of Cusco's poison is just like written so fluidly.
You mean every college paper ever.
What you call runoff, I call 3 sentences.
Okay, so it needs to be 5 pages. Well, I've got 4 pages in almost an entire, almost filled. So in order to get that one more line, I'm going to change this word into a slightly longer word. That's me on my college papers.
Yeah.
Cusco's here's mentioning how Kronk's like 20 and she's like 60 and how creepy that is. I didn't get the sexual undertones to that until I had watched this movie a couple of months ago. Because the Blu-ray had just come out and I needed to get that shit.
That's just more to the movie's credit, though. This movie does it perfectly when it comes to entertaining both kids and adults. You know, you laugh at the physical humor as a kid, and then when you grow up, you love it for its writing.
Yeah, you've got the slapstick for the kids and the wit for the adults.
How about that local sports team?
Okay, whenever I think I'm throwing the most awkward dinner party ever, all I have to do is remember this, and then everything will be okay.
Pay attention to that cactus.
Yeah, I was just about to mention the cactus myself.
He just has such short attention.
It's not that he's dumb. It's just that he lives in his own world, and well, okay, he is dumb. I'm not gonna deny that. But it's not like he's it's not like he's Patrick Star dumb. He's his own special brand of dumb.
Yeah. Oh, see you back there. The cactus turned into a llama.
cactus.
That was another thing I didn't notice until I had watched the movie again a few months ago.
How is he not seeing this?
That was a waste of broccoli.
You think you would have brought an extra just in case?
You know, he is a llama. You could just kill him now.
The first of many meta jokes. I fucking love her for shit.
This was one of her last roles, wasn't it?
No, I think she's still with us.
No,
I think she passed away.
It passed away on Christmas 2008.
Aw.
I'd like to just call attention to how ungodly steep all the staircases in this movie are.
Hang on, no, wait, go back. If he was unconscious, how did he know this was happening?
It's meta.
Exactly.
That was a How I Met Your Mother joke at one point, where it's like, I wasn't here, so I can't vouch to this one, and then you just see one of the characters jump out a window, like 3 stories. Also, this is my favorite. These two are my favorite. Kronk here is my favorite instance of the shoulder angel, shoulder devil joke that gets used in everything. I love these two guys.
They're like bit characters in and of themselves. The best part about this joke is, like, time hasn't frozen. That bag's still heading towards the waterfall.
Yeah.
Look what I could do.
I love this. Like, the angel's fucking impressed with her.
Oh, ironically, Kronk's probably the only. Pacha. Kronk is one of the only completely morally good characters in this entire movie.
Yeah, I would say he's the second nicest guy.
What?
The dangers of zooming out too far.
Don't worry, Kronk. You can just pretend to be Santa Claus and give joy to all the childrens.
We've been there. Get over it.
I don't think so, Kronk.
Shut up. Actually, I couldn't imagine Tim Allen as Patcher.
Maybe.
Yeah,
But...
stick to Buzz Lightyear.
There, you see, that is why the sheer drop staircases were a bad idea. Whoever designed this city should be shot.
You know, you say that automatically means.
It means it's going to come back and haunt you.
Oh, this isn't a power montage. This is a sad
That montage.
The bad news is your city's gonna be fucking destroyed. The good news is you get a free llama.
There was actually a deleted scene, I recall, where Pacha, right after Cusco told him that he's going to destroy the village, there was like a training montage of his soldiers destroying a replica of the village.
I think I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, but they It was too much of a mood whiplash.
Yeah, and it was kind of superfluous.
Oh, was it? Oh, it wasn't comedy. It was just.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't played for laughs. It was pretty serious.
Okay, well then it makes sense that they cut it.
This reminds me a bit of the Go to Distance sequence from Hercules.
The music, I think, is it.
Just the framing of the valleys and whatnot. Also a little bit of Kung Fu Panda.
These kids are adorable as hell.
Actually, you mentioned Go the Distance, and I just realized how similar the character designs are to Hercules.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same team. Ugh.
That grossed me out.
Yeah.
Do you happen to have the IMDb page open?
I have the IMDb page up now. What did you want to know?
Who plays Patch's wife?
See the full cast and crew, and I can check right for Wendy Malick. She's only accredited as Patch's wife though. She doesn't get her own name.
Thank God, because I wasn't sure what her name was.
Hold on, I'll check to see anything else that you might have recorded. Oh, she was in the Kung Fu Panda TV show.
Legends of Awesome, I haven't seen that.
All My Children, if you watch your soaps.
As we all know.
Oh, they got her back for the TV show, though.
Yeah. Like, Patrick Warburton and Eartha Kitt came back to reprise the roles in the TV show, which was pretty cool.
Well, Patrick Warburton is more into TV than I think he is movies.
Yeah, because he's Joe in Family Guy.
I believe before that he had work in Seinfeld, and he was also the live action Tick. Did anyone else see that?
I think I've watched like maybe half an episode of the animated series, never seen the live action one.
Yeah, the live action one was Patrick Warburton playing it. It only lasted a season. I'm blaming you for not seeing it.
This is like Deadpool levels of breaking the fourth wall.
I can't remember watching this in the cinema, but it must have been pretty cool.
This is the old "is there a doctor in the house" joke, but...
Oh, I just remembered I can't run on two legs anymore.
Do I still have to bow to you now that you're all fuzzy?
Especially now that I'm all fuzzy.
You may throw in an extra bow, if you will. I like how he becomes more animated after becoming a llama. Like, his facial animations have become much more exaggerated.
Well, they have to make the shape of the llama's face seem more human in order to get the emotions across, so that's why it looks very exaggerated.
Yeah, well, that's general rule of thumb when it comes to all anthropomorphic animals.
Mate, I just generally slur the word and no one bothers to question it.
Well, they do a very good job at making it look human and animal at the same time, though, which is a thing that Disney has gotten good at after decades and decades of talking creatures.
Yes, with your peasant magic. You turned me poor like you.
He somehow even manages to make "okay, you're not the criminal" sound insulting.
I love that secret lab, because there's no way that you'd be able to hide a multi-story underground facility with a roller coaster secret from him. mean, I don't make deals with llamas, but hey.
Who's being the deal racist here? Not me.
Peasant isn't a race. It's a...
Shut up, Ted.
Stop being classes.
Wait a minute. Hold the fucking phone. Neither is a llama. It's a breed.
Ding, ding, ding!
Wait a minute. That was an insult.
Guilty conscience.
Everyone who wants this guy dead is a good guy, so they can't go through it. No one's taught this guy about the lions, the tigers, or the bears, huh?
Oh my.
Oh my.
No, he mentioned the snakes and the quicksand and the panthers, but he just wasn't giving a shit.
Aren't you glad you didn't get turned into a bug?
Cute mascot.
I shall call it a Pokemon.
Okay, so what the heck is a North American squirrel doing in South America?
Maybe they're in prehistoric North America, Ted.
That whole joke back there just reminds me of Beat It, Doofus from Goofy movie.
Oh, here we go.
This is another one of my favorite bits.
There's multiple levels. You have the balloon, then you have the tension, and then you have the break of the tension.
That squirrel's face becomes outright psychotic.
I just love that. I know that sleeping gag has been done multiple times, where the person sleeps through the hellmouth opening,
the attended.
and then someone sneezes, and then they wake up. But I don't know. It's just done very well there. If only because he just pulls a balloon animal out of his ass.
A little kitten. Now just jump, you're a cartoon, you'll survive.
Thatcher to the rescue!
Am I the only one around here willing to save the Emperor?
Maul him. Oh, too late, I guess.
I think this counts as a hostage situation. You are so under arrest.
Now, another thing that I like about this movie is I think the tree here is CG, but other than that, they really do try to keep it to traditional animation as much as possible.
Yeah, that was actually one of the only critiques I had against the likes of Hercules. Was that when they try to implement the CG in terms of like the Hydra is the most notable example, but when they're up in the Olympus and they have all that conspicuous CG all over the place, I think it kind of aged the movie.
Well, to be fair, it was cutting edge at the time, but for stuff like Treasure Planet and Tarzan, they just overused it, and that's why it got it in the neck, so to speak.
Very true, but I thought like the Cave of Wonders tiger head aged better than the CGI in Hercules.
We talked over that whole waterfall gag back there, but that's one of my most quoted jokes from the movie.
Well, I say that whenever anybody's about to go over a waterfall.
Is that a common instance for you, Tom?
I thought you'd do a lot of white water rafting.
I'd like to ask something. Why was that guy listening at his neck for a heartbeat? Because that's what he was doing.
Well, I don't think it's very often you do CPR on a llama.
And now Tumblr starts shipping this.
Oh, come on. There wasn't even any contact.
It doesn't need contact for Tumblr.
Cusco, you magnificent fuck up.
He needs a brush.
He needs a smack is what he needs.
Oh, well, that too. Yes.
Well, don't worry, the plot's going to help him along in that regard. Patchett has the patience of a saint.
Well, John Goodman I think, was grown somewhere in a lab to be the nicest guy in the history of nice guys.
Have you seen Big Lebowski?
Yeah, I was gonna say you clearly haven't seen Big Lebowski.
Have you seen the Flintstones? He fucking murdered people left, right, and centre in that movie. Although I haven't seen it in many years, so I may be misremembering some parts. One of my favourite lines. Yeah, you can be the nicest guy in the world, but sometimes you just gotta play hardball.
Well, here, Potch is sort of like shooting himself in the foot because he can't go back home until because Kuzco could just follow him home whether or not he agrees to help.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but it's not like Kuzco can do anything in his current situation either. So it's kind of a stalemate, really.
No, in the end, though, Kuzco has to win. Otherwise, both of them are just going to be stuck out here till the end of time.
They're the original Odd Couple.
Didn't The Odd Couple come out like decades before this?
No, I think you're talking about timeline in terms of the movie itself.
Oh, it's got peasant cooties. I feel my value deprecating by the second.
And his heart just grew 2 sizes, didn't it? How do you know he's dead? You don't have a body.
Well, they pretend. Kronk lied.
And no one likes him, so they really don't care.
How fucking callous. But also, how hilarious, which is what matters in the end.
Okay, there's a lot of faces that I wouldn't mind being plastered all over the place, but Esma's, no.
Those doors. That door.
See, another thing I do like about this movie is they don't beat around the bush when it comes to certain jokes.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, the situation before is, like, obviously he's trying to cover his ass in terms of he did kill Kuzco. Obviously he didn't, but she's quick to catch on to that.
Yeah, it's a very fast-paced movie.
So, yeah, okay, I got what you mean. Like, the whole lying about it only lasts for, like, a minute before they go back to doing things again.
They don't pointlessly draw it out.
Are you hallucinating again, son?
Did you read the movie's script before you dropped off?
Are your psychic powers reacting again?
Maybe.
She was clearly on Tumblr before she went to bed.
Most annoying sound.
For some reason, that soundbite there reminds me of the voice clips in Zelda, the N64 Zeldas. I don't know why, though.
Maybe the mini blends from Wind Waker?
You can sum up any fan base with that.
Okay, so the plot's not going to move forward until we agree to just keep on going, right? Yeah? Okay.
Friends.
So, how about that sky? Sure is blue today.
Talk about blue.
Actually, it's looking kind of gray from where I'm standing.
You know, I never really thought about it, but you're wearing llama clothes made out of lava fur, and I'm wearing llama fur. So you're stealing my look, dude.
I am llama fur. What are you talking about?
Speaking of llama, I must confess, this movie is the only reason I know llamas exist.
Actually, I can go back older than this. Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, Jimmy Neutron. With Carl and his love of llamas.
My middle school class would say Napoleon Dynamite, but I hate that movie.
What I like about Patra is he's not really the most handsome of characters. He's more like just a regular dude, and that really lends itself to making him like an approachable and likable character.
No, but isn't that like a general trope, though? Like, the most unattractive man is the nicest person you'll meet. It's usually the handsome guy is the douchebag.
I mean, look at Quasimodo.
Look at Cusco.
Well, the point about Quasimodo, he doesn't even get the girl at the end of his movie, so...
Well, he does in the straight-to-DVD sequel.
We don't mention
In the
this
straight-to-DVD sequel.
Well, I'm not going to do it when we actually do Hunchback, so...
I knew I should have worked off some of this blubber.
Cusco, you betrayed Shiva. You know, if he had just not gone back to Taunt, he would have been fine.
That's his arrogance for you. He will learn many a life lesson by the end of this movie.
That's just a Disney thing. I can't think of a single Disney movie where they don't learn a life lesson.
This is karma.
Well, Snow White, actually. Snow White doesn't learn a life lesson. She just, freeloads at the dwarf's house for a little bit, then dies, and then comes back.
What a depressing summation of a classic piece of animation. You just Emperor's New Groove Snow White.
I invented a verb.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Technically, I invented it and gave it to you, and you took credit for it.
Just like all inventors.
I just Thomas Edison'd you, and I actually invented that verb.
Well done, Ted.
Okay, you guys seriously didn't think this was gonna last long, did you?
Note to self, if we survive, build better bridges. Ow, my spine! Ow, my neck!
My everything.
I count like 5 Captain Hooks down there. Technically, that's on my arm. I just have 4 legs.
Don't be that guy.
Well, I'm totally going to be that guy.
well, Cusco has already been that guy with the whole hands this thing.
True. Turnabout is fair play.
Symbolic teamwork.
That's literal teamwork as well.
Well, this comes back later in the movie. It's one of those things you know is going to come back later because teamwork.
We call it Chekhov's maneuver.
Now, the one thing that I do like about it is that it doesn't end up working for them.
Yeah. That's the moral of the movie.
Okay, now this would probably break his neck if he had done it in real life.
Yeah, if the anthropomorphic llama did this in real life.
To think of the consequences.
Scorpions again. I think we've had more than enough of scorpions for one night.
Fucking scorpions, man. These things are terrifying.
They're also poisonous.
There's that, yeah.
Wow, it's so lucky there were enough bats up in there that they were able to lift a grown man and a llama up.
I don't think it was the bats that lifted him. I think it was just from sheer force of panic that he crawled up the wall.
I also use that one a lot. That was a trailer shot. Remember the days where you could go to your local cinema and sit down and watch a trailer for a new Disney movie, a new Disney animated movie? Those were the days.
They shut down the animation studio.
Yeah, they made Princess and the Frog, and it was like, no, this didn't do billions. I better shut it down.
Well, no, Princess of the Frog. I think Princess of the Frog did. I think it made a profit, but
the point is, it didn't do well enough.
Well,
Yeah.
they made a big deal about it being Disney's return to animation.
Yeah, the return to 2D animation.
And then I think like Tangled came out a year later, and that was super massive success.
Well, the reason Princess and the Frog didn't do as well as they'd hoped because it was pretty much just the same movie they've done so many times.
It was very cookie cutter, yeah, but it was a good movie all the same. And it had Keith David as the villain, so bonus.
They just really needed to do something different with 2D animation if they wanted to make it their, it's our big triumphant return to 2D.
Well, I can get where they're going for, is that they wanted to go back by doing a princess movie, which actually they hadn't done since, the 50s or so.
Well, unless you count a...
Well, here's another question now. This is around the tail end of when they stopped doing 2D animation. We had this in Lilo and Stitch. Am I forgetting anything else?
Brother Bear came out around this time too. But yeah, you're right. It's just tail end.
Was it because those last three were not financially successful as much as
it was that too, and also 3D stuff is cheaper and quicker to make than 2D stuff, so that's when they started to transition into that sort of animation.
I think you're forgetting one important movie that may have attributed to the decline of Disney's animation, Home on the Range.
Oh yeah, oh. Well, there's
I've
a reason
never
that
even
I
heard of
blocked
that.
Home of the Range out of my memory.
Yeah, I watched the first half an hour, and I literally got so bored I changed the channel, which is something I very rarely do.
Also, Treasure Planet didn't do very well.
I think Treasure Planet was before this.
Before this, but also is they're very much...
contributed?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you. I preferred the Riddler.
But Frank Gorshin died years ago. In fact, I think the only people still alive from that series are Adam West and Burt Ward.
That's because they refused to die.
Okay, you see, I've had this conversation before, but I've never been the Chipmunk or Kronk. I've always been Isma.
Just about to ask you, were you talking to a squirrel?
I wonder if she ever got her heels back from that,
Asking the pertinent questions there.
Oh, those fucking animalist assholes.
Okay.
There's a fantastic little line coming up here. And it's so subtle you might actually miss it.
What line are you talking about?
I'll point it out after it happens. That's it. Bless you for coming out. It's got so many implications.
Oh, because they're supposed to be... Oh. This is one of the best scenes in the entire movie.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, only about, the last 30 seconds actually impact the plot in any sort of way. But it's just such a good scene that you don't even notice for the most part.
Well, the diner in like movies and comedies is like ripe for entertainment value.
Well, this is just your typical. I've been to this restaurant 100 times. You know, I don't know why she managed to. Why she bothered throwing the rice on the ground when she's just going to complain when she has to pick it up later.
It's celebration.
That's Timon and Pumbaa when you need them.
Cusco's one of those persons who complains about their steak being medium rare as opposed to just regular rare or something.
Another adult joke back there.
Yeah, I love that thumbs up.
What that fork ever do to you, man?
Killed my father.
That just confirms that she has superhuman strength, which is something I sort of suspected ever since I saw her smashing stone sculptures in that one scene earlier.
He's a very friendly soul, is Kronk.
Well, he doesn't hate anyone.
I quote that line all the time at a restaurant, too.
Okay, so to our viewers, please don't be that guy who actually goes into the kitchen and complains to the chef. Because I have seen that guy, and nobody likes that guy.
Like, very rarely will you find a chef who doesn't give a shit about the food he's serving. These guys work really long hours.
Yeah.
I can imagine that the chefs working at a place like this might give less than a shit.
And it is this scene. I said Kronk was dumb earlier, and in like the early parts of the movie, you would be led to believe that it's here where he starts to show his hidden depths. He's really actually very competent when it comes to stuff like cooking.
Yeah. You get hints of that with spinach puffs.
This is like a Laurel and Hardy routine here.
When would that ever work?
When people aren't paying attention.
We're just gonna sit here chuckling to the rest of the movie, aren't we?
Pretty much. Well, it's classic slapstick comedy. How can you go wrong?
Okay. Whenever it's somebody's birthday, I always send them this clip.
Well, 1 month today.
I'll be sure to send you a sombrero and everything, Tom.
Thank you. And they want to murder you.
You just fired her.
This guy is a dumbass.
Well, to be fair, he's a pampered palace brat.
It was a very short-term memory, anyway.
Well, not to go too historical, political, and stuff, but back then, well, he would be he might lack common sense, but the royalty were probably the only people who ever got properly educated.
Education, yes.
Time. Yeah. So he wouldn't. He'd be dumb, but he wouldn't be dumb, if that makes any sense.
See, so much is happening in the scene. You get the turnaround where he actually discovers the truth, and you get a joke at the tail end.
Well, he also, it's not just that he learns that they killed him, but he also learns that nobody gives a fuck that he's dead. Or dead, quotation marks.
Well, that escalated quickly.
For the benefit, really. I'm not a fan when movies tend to lag on the sad dramatic moment.
Yeah, the mopey, I fucked up arc happens in all
The
of
drama
these
llama.
Yeah. If the joke's not going to have a payoff, it doesn't really belong scene-wise in a comedy movie.
The movie overall is very economic for the benefit.
The drama llama, as Lewis said, only lasts for like what a scene or two, and then it's back to the stuff that we like. So it's believable character-wise without boring people. Although I gotta wonder if how narrator Cusco and actual Cusco can be two separate characters at the same time.
That's how meta comedy works, mate.
I love this scene though too though.
What's with the thing on his head, though?
I just love how Kronk's head is big enough to hold over his knees, and that's it.
You think that's over, and then it pans out so far as well. I fucking love Krog.
Okay, what is the purpose of these the cucumbers? I need to ask.
It's supposed to clean you. It cleanses. It opens pores and removes oil, dirt.
Oh well, you must take very good care of your face then, John.
No, I just surrounded by people that do it.
Dude's fucking ballin'.
I'm not really sure what the purpose of the cucumbers is, though.
I try to think of a smart ass retort, but nothing's coming.
Even the other llamas hate him. Oh.
The loneliest little llama. I think that was the working title for the movie.
Too bad when he transformed into a llama, he didn't gain a llama's taste buds.
Jesus, this is what we've been feeding them? God, it'll be nothing but red meat and beer for the rest of you.
The backgrounds are also really simple in this scene.
Why are you talking to llamas? This guy's too good for his own good.
He puts the good in John Goodman.
He's a good man.
Indeed.
Well, I was just developing a taste for grass, but sure, let's turn me back into a human. His wife ain't buying any of that. I don't mind him, he's just friend to child everywhere.
I do love the acrobatics she pulls here.
This movie is great on the physical comedy aspect as well.
Not just that. It's like nobody's an idiot here. Like she's obviously not buying this story.
Yeah.
You know, she's not playing the stereotypical oblivious wife.
Kids say the darndest things.
You know, you think you wouldn't give a shit when you're trapped into like a room like this.
That's terrifying.
That headbang always makes me cringe.
The payoff to this gag is probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen in a Disney movie.
This is the most roundabout way to get to the palace I've seen. What was with the random circle?
What? The bat wings?
I love that. I love how excited she is when it's flying in the air.
It is a random lightning strike.
They cared enough to put it on the map. Cool. Okay, I fucking love this.
Oh, well, it's coming up. Well, first, there's lots of brick jokes here. Why do they even have that lever? Just start drinking random crap.
Okay, octopus, octopus, lion, octopus. Man, there's a lot of octopus things here.
This is the best joke in the movie.
Now, I would reply to this with, well, that's kind of like what you said at the beginning of the movie, but then... the movie makes the joke for me.
Ah!
Okay, I'm ready to die now after seeing that, so it's all good.
What's with the random jagged knife? What purpose does that serve?
You want a serious answer?
I think all the animation budget went into Yzma's face, though.
Spinach puppets, all yeah.
Not necessarily sure that that's what he meant.
That's why they have those levers.
I did wonder about that trapdoor. Now it all makes sense. All coming together.
What do you think would happen if you drank like two of them at the same time? Could you become the man bear pig?
Shake them all, try them out one by one.
It'll make for a wacky chase sequence.
I love me some wacky chase sequences. I would have thought that the Warthog guy might have wanted to go home.
Yes, brilliant, perfect, status quo restored.
Now, actually, I remember for the video game, I think it was the PC game, you actually could turn into different animals throughout the entire thing. Like, yeah, I can't remember how good it was, though. I don't think it was amazing.
I've heard of the game, but I never actually was curious enough to play it.
It wasn't something I owned, but it was something my cousin did.
That didn't work out quite as well as the Chamber of Secrets.
Well, there's not too much you can do when you only have Toucan Sam.
For once, we landed in a river after a deathly drop, and it's, we're actually fully equipped for a change.
I think they were mimicking an animation scene from Pinocchio with the whale in the water back there. Okay, whoever designed I think the guy the architect designed it specifically for that one purpose.
I love that battle cry.
So, they're dead, right?
Yeah, probably.
You're familiar with the term Disney death, right?
No, isn't Disney death supposed to be like really, really like? I forget what the TV trope description of
A Disney death is. I think it's an implied death. It usually involves falling from a very, very high height.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
I see what you did there, animators.
Eartha Kitt. Oh.
She's Catwoman.
Diddle better boink.
They put her voice through a filter for that, I assume, right?
Clearly.
No, that's just how Overkit sounds.
That's her normal voice.
Yeah, her usual suave tones. A lie, a ruse.
See, despite this, however, Eartha Kitt's cat form is probably her most effective one in the entire movie.
That's a good point, actually. That's a good job the outside of this temple was built like a platformer.
Huh. You're right, it was.
I'm curious, though, is it an actual platform level in the game?
Okay, I call bullshit on this.
How did you get over there so fast?
How do you hold on to something without any hands? Okay, I had another great bit right here.
You could have told me that before I set it up. Imply you stood there and watched him do it.
Now it's back up there again.
That has to be the most durable glass I've ever seen. It survived several multi-story falls. And, yeah.
Yeah, but it landed on the soft paws of a kitten.
These guys need to learn how to wall jump.
And that's why Kronk got his own special.
Well, I don't know. How well did the sequel end up being?
It's actually pretty decent.
Okay, because a lot of the times when they realize that a certain character was the best thing about a movie, like Pirates of the Caribbean, they realized that Jack Sparrow was the best part of the first movie, so they overdo him in the other twos. A lot of times that ends up making things worse, but...
Well, it actually revolved around Kronk being estranged from his father and trying to win his affections, so it showed a more human side of the character, and it was pretty funny.
Okay.
The question, though, I never actually seen the sequel to this or the TV. Well, the TV series, I'm pretty sure the answer is obvious, but are the production values any? Does it suffer from this, typical Disney sequel kind of stuff?
It does and it doesn't. I mean, Kronk's New Groove looks decent for what it is. The TV show is very basic. But obviously, it has the boon of having Eartha Kitt and Patrick Warburton and Patch's wife return to do voice roles.
I assume they didn't get David Spade back, or John Goodman, for...
No.
David Spade is very busy with...
Insert work here.
Robot Chicken.
Grown-ups?
How dare you profane this commentary with such language?
It's not very G-rated, Ted.
Rated G for grown-ups.
Damn it, Tom.
I'm sorry, I'll try to keep it more fucking kid-friendly next time.
Thank you, you piece of shit.
You're welcome, douchebag.
We're all sons of bitches.
And that's it, folks. This is the Emperor's New Groove, or was the Emperor's New Groove, I should say. And this is it from the Brain Scratch crew, so I just want to thank you all for stopping by and making this Disneython a lot more entertaining.
No problem, Tom. Thank you for inviting each and every single one of us.
Multiple times, like you wouldn't stop. That's why we had to come on.
Well, I had to, otherwise you wouldn't get out of my house.
Yeah. But no, it's been a grand old time, and thank you all for listening. We'll see you next time for another Disneython commentary.